Hello, 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 hello. Oh, I forgot to turn on my lamp. Hold on a sec. Oh, good lord, don't fall. I wasn't talking to the lamp, I was talking to me. Hello! It's been a little bit. I was supposed to stream yesterday, but I wasn't feeling super well, so I decided, you know what? I'm gonna take the day off. I'm gonna stream tomorrow anyway. Maybe I'll stream Tuesday now, too. Who knows? All depends on how much I want to try and get done. And if you guys like the idea. So, time to turn in. As you can see, well, not really right now, but there you are. The others have gone on ahead to the Crystal Tower with Beck-Lug. For the record, I truly wish we hadn't had to resort to such words when treating with them. I have ever sought to convince, not compel. Yet I cannot deny that a part of me is glad Urianger shared his knowledge of the Numu with us. Had he not, Beck-Lug wouldn't be here. Speaking of whom, we should hurry. To keep our guest waiting would only add insult to injury. Alright. So that is quest number 2 of the post-credits stuff. And as you will see, due to the fact that I couldn't access some stuff right away, I had to upgrade my gear. And so I've been, for the first time ever, I actually started knocking out dailies. Which, as you know, I am not, like, a huge fan of daily quests. Because I think they're generally kind of annoying, personally. I understand if you enjoy them. But as a result of the amount of money you make doing dailies, and the amount of tomestones I was able to get, I was able to upgrade my gear so I can continue on with the MSQ for a while. So the plan is to do dailies every single day, so that by the time I need to do the next dungeon, my item level should be high enough that I can do, you know, the dungeon. Now, it isn't a guaranteed system, because, like, if I slack one day, I'll be screwed. Well, not necessarily screwed, but you know what I mean. Except... We mustn't dally here any longer, Umbra. If Beck-Lug is to hear the truth of our travels in the first, you, of all people, should be present. But yeah, so I have a duty to myself to really knock this out. Now, later today, I will be doing my daily roulette. If anyone would like to join in that, you are absolutely welcome. I will warn you, I am not the best tank in the world. I am still growing as a player. But, you know, everybody's growing a little bit. Oh, there's a new person in the Discord. Hello. Hello, new friend. And then also this week, I am setting up for a D&D one-shot that I'm planning. And later tonight, I'm having like an open sit down with any players who want to ask questions. So a lot of things are happening today. But what else is new?
I'm sorry. You mean to tell me not only that the return of night was your doing, but that you hail from another world as well?
Everything we told you, of the source, the shards, the 7 umbral calamities, all of it is true. I realize how fantastical it sounds, and I would not blame you for doubting our testimony. But given your expertise, you must surely have noted the peculiar nature of their souls.
Any other time and I would have dismissed your stories as balderdash and flummery. But upon closer inspection, 'tis plain their souls are far denser than is normal, and that they do not possess true bodies. Save you. Your body is your own. And your soul is the densest of them all.
I do like the, I think it's
As
the
I
Neo-ish
said
Guardian
before,
armor
were
that
it
I'm
not
wearing.
for their heroism, the skies over Norvrant would still be awash with light, the realm yet at the mercy of Vor-3 and the Sin Eaters. After all they have done for our home, seeing them safely back to their own, it seems the very least we can do.
Your tale is intriguing. Yes, very intriguing indeed. Simply to hear it is fitting payment in itself. As for your friends, I can but agree. Their valorous deeds on behalf of Norvrant are deserving of recognition, of their own fitting payment.
You will help us then?
I will. I would see my knowledge put to good use for a change. I do have one condition, however. I am not the spry young Numo I once was. As such, I will require assistance in my fieldwork and testing.
It would be our pleasure. We'll be laboring for our own benefit after all.
There we go. You have spun quite a tale. But tell me, have you given any thought as to how you might return to your world? White auracite, you say? An intriguing proposition, but one which fails to account for the present state of your souls. They have become highly charged, likely as a consequence of having maintained tangible forms for so long. In such an energetic, unstable state, there is no telling what may happen to their souls within the auracite. They could very well become immutable to transference, never to be restored to their bodies. Then, would it be possible to force our souls into a state of dormancy prior to transference? In theory, yes, but the soul is not a candle to be snuffed out and relit on a whim. Well, that sounds ominous. What exactly would render our souls dormant entail? In order to maintain a corporeal form, your souls constantly draw ether from your surroundings. This process must be halted, and the resulting surfeit of ether removed. Excuse me. Your minds would ultimately be separated from these faux bodies of yours, rendering you incapable of interacting with the world around you. A cruel fate under normal circumstances, but one which will be rectified upon your return home. Leaving lifeless husks, like those poor souls at the inn at Journey's Head, corrupted by the sin eaters, their ether made stagnant by the light. Corrupted? Stagnant? Might I see these unfortunate individuals? Why? Do you think you might be able to help them? I might, or I might not. But I shan't know for sure until I've seen their condition firsthand. Then I would be glad to take you to them, on the understanding that you won't do anything that might increase their suffering. It was my faith in man I lost, not my compassion. Well, I see no need for all of us to accompany you. While you escort our guest to the inn, I will assist Urianger in creating the requisite auracite. I believe my talents would be better applied to that endeavor as well. Might I leave the three of you to assist Beckett Lug as necessary? Let us make for our meringue, then. Yeah. Really shouldn't have started eating until after the cutscene ended. Alright. So this is Howrick, is it? Yes, his etheric balance leans perilously toward the light, towards stasis. Alizé, what do you suppose will happen to him? Not too bright, are you, boy? The same as all poor souls corrupted by the light. He will become a sin eater. You don't know that. We've defeated the Wardens and banished the light from the sky. Howrick was completely unresponsive before, but now... Then perhaps there is yet hope. If I may, there is a treatment I wish to administer to the patients. What sort of treatment? In the course of my study on the soul, I once created a tonic which could temporarily stimulate the ether in one's body. After some refinement, it came to be used by the Knights of Verbet, and for far darker purposes. Lest it fall into the wrong hands, I swore never again to make it, but for their sakes I will break my oath. It is not like to reverse the stagnation, mind you, but it should offer some measure of relief. Time to go get some stuff. Oh wait, no, we're giving it to people. They're Totten. What is this warmth I feel in my chest? Ah, there you are. Ugh. I'm gonna have to adjust how I'm sitting because I'm sitting like an idiot right now. I feel warm. And my legs, they don't feel as heavy. Alright, so this is going to be Quest 3 done. Right? Hold on. I gotta pull up my list. A welcome guest. Yep. Now then, have you noted any change in the patients? A notable rise in body temperature and increased motor function, in most patients at the least. The more severely afflicted show no response. As I feared then. 'Tis true that with the restoration of night, the corrupting influence of light will no longer grow, and yes, their bodies will naturally return to equilibrium given time, but this holds true only for their corporeal ether. Their incorporeal ether, that of the soul, is not so easily mended. Which is why those in the later stages of corruption, like Haurik, appear unaffected by your tonic. Precisely. The boy's soul is too far gone, his mind held together by the finest of threads. There is a chance he may one day recover, of course, but it could take years, decades even. By the gods, he could wake to find himself an old man. A fine reward for his persistence, the opportunity to mourn the life he never had a chance to live. No, there must be something we can do. Look, I realize this is not why we petitioned your aid, but do you think it possible we could find a way to hasten their recovery? Maybe. Nor do I think it impossible that in treating them we might learn something of relevance to your own predicament. Excuse me. Okay, so now we're on to Good for the Soul, which is quest number 4. I want to at least get to 5.2 today. Specifically, I mean, like, at least one quest in. That's the plan. I suspect the Crystal Exarch has told you of my past. That I was once a mage of the royal court of Verbert, and that soulcraft was my field of study. The tonic you administered to the patients here is one of the fruits of my labors. I hope to do great things for the kingdom. But in the end, my knowledge brought only suffering, a plague the likes of which none had ever seen. In the hands of unscrupulous men, what should have been my greatest triumph instead became my greatest shame. That I do. A comforting thought indeed. But let us return to the task at hand, finding a means by which we might revitalize these people's incorporeal ether. do you think it can be done? Were the sky is still ablaze with primordial light, I would call it an exercise in futility. But now we may have a chance. The method I have in mind will entail the conjuring of a familiar. They are able to amplify the energies poured into them, making them the perfect conduit for the aether revitalizing magics we will ultimately employ. If you're about to launch into a lengthy explanation of the metaphysics of your plan, don't bother. I'd rather get on with it, with doing whatever it is that needs to be done, if it's all the same to you. Whatever reagents must be procured or spells invoked, I'll do it. Excuse me. I admire your spirit. Very well. Your first task will be to gather the necessary materials. The purest of waters and the finest of clays, as well as a fey lantern brimming with pixie magic. If you're convinced the resulting familiar could help the patients, fine. Alphino, the water and clay will be simple enough, but I think you know what we'll have to do to get the lantern. You don't mean... The pixie took quite a liking to us before. If we humor them with our company, I'm sure they'll be willing to help us. Fine. We'll pay a visit to Ilmeg, though I never thought you would be the one to suggest going back there. I'm impressed you've been there at all, let alone befriended the Fey folk. Oh, while you're out and about it, seek out the new Mo of Plaeni. They will be able to supply you with the water suitable for our needs. Right. Let's get this over with, shall we? There still remains the matter of the clay. Might I prevail upon you to find it? Alright. So we're off to collect some clay. Clay from Amarang would likely be best. Know you of anyone who might be able to assist us? Ah, yes. They will be able to point you in the right direction, I'm sure. While you and the twins are occupied, I will see if there is aught else I can learn from the stagnation which afflicts the people here. I love that sweet boy. Alright. So, let's do this as simply and efficiently as possible. Normally, I would teleport, but there's really no reason to when I can fly. That way I can also finish my food. Ah, I left my phone upstairs. I need to send a text to my accountability buddy. Well, I could do it over Discord. Hold on. There they are. 10 auditions. Ten auditions, 20 emails, and a nap before streaming. And if they ask, it's because my phone was dead, so I plugged it in upstairs. Umbra, what a coincidence. I don't remember his voice either. You've come at a good time. We've just this moment finished repairing the talus and trolley you took over to Nabatharang. The trolley was no trouble, but the talus would have been another matter had we not had a visit from Master Chai. Excuse me. He offered us a share of the leftover building materials from Daedalus Stoneworks, as well as a few trade secrets that might help us along. Clever man, that China's. You seem pretty keen on the ideas I had for putting the giant talus to work. Like a giant trolley. But Magnus still refuses to see all the good we could do with it. You're entitled to your dreams, Jack. And that doesn't mean you can go around harassing our guests with them. Master Chai was just being polite. And something tells me Umbra here didn't come all this way to talk about trolleys. What is it you need, friend? I see. And this familiar requires clay from Aurora. Well, look no further. If anyone can find some quality clay, it's us. Saying that, it isn't exactly a commodity nowadays, but there must be some lurking somewhere or other, waiting to be dug up. If I'm not mistaken... Oh my god, I just spat everywhere. Apologies, good lord. If I'm not mistaken, there was a time when they used to take clay from Mount Biren mines to make an adobe bricks. Place is swarming with coyotes now. But if you're after the good stuff, you could do worse than to look there. I may have to change his voice, because, well, the scene's over, never mind. Excuse me. Good lord. So we're flip-flap flying over there. Noom. Through the eye of the needle, right? That's what they say. Excuse me, good god. Now I got the hiccups. Jesus. Somebody save me, I'm going to die. Alright. So we're gonna hang up up here until combat dies down. Alright. There we go. Alright. Yep. Hey, bud. I don't want to do this. And I'm sure you don't want to die. So can you please leave? Alright, I guess that's a no. Bye. Alrighty. Now there should be one last spot, but it looks like it's not around here. So it's probably hanging out somewhere. Maybe over there. Not there. It's out of the range. I'm ignoring you, wild doggy. Am I just not seeing it? Am I just being dumb? I mean, that's entirely possible. Oh, there it is. I'm just not looking. So you just gotta zoom out, and then everything's in a little better perspective. At least for me. Alright, let's get rid of this boy. I feel bad, because he's just a hungry coyote, but no. He's getting in my way. Alright. Alrighty. I feel bad because I haven't been super participatory in the FC Discord lately, and it's mostly just because I've been like on such a I've just been on such a grind to finish the MSQ in time that I've kind of like I've lost a lot of time just like grinding away, which is unfortunate. The twins have returned, and in one piece at that. I was convinced the pixies would turn at least one of them into a garden ornament, but no. You have the clay, I take it. I do. Wonderful. We need but combine the clay and the water, then heat the mixture with the Fey Lantern. After that, it will be a simple matter of settling upon a suitable form and performing the necessary incantation. Becklug, I have a question. In the event that we had need of this spell and you weren't around, would it be possible for another to perform the incantation? Assuming they possess the requisite skill, yes. Ulrich and the others have suffered so much, and I swore to do everything in my power to save them. If there's a chance this spell could do that, I would be the one to invoke it. Mayhap you should be the one to do so. A deep understanding of the subject's physical state, combined with a strong desire to help them, can drastically increase the magic's effect, and you are plainly more familiar with these people than I. I dare say there are few in all of Novarant more dedicated to finding a cure. Is that not so, Umbra? Absolutely, she is the best woman for the job. I'll give it my all. For Halric. For Tesleen. Then we are all of a mind on the matter. Alizé shall be the one to conjure the familiar. Okay.
Let us begin.
I appreciate that
trust
these are
you've
voiced.
prepared the clay. Very good. Now, I would have you sculpt for me a Porksy.
Is that a joke on Proxy?
Plump, with floppy ears and a short curly tail.
Oh, one of those little pig fae.
A Porksy. I think I know what you mean. There we are. How's that?
Oh, good lord.
Well,
It is certainly creative. There's no denying that.
Yes, yes, I'm no artist. Very funny.
Pay him no mind, child. Though it may look like a grotesque parody of reality, it is what the invoker believes that matters.
Woof.
You're not helping.
But I speak the truth. If successful, this incantation will turn imagination into reality. Which is why the only thing of import is what you believe this figure embodies. You must focus. Hold the Porksy's image steady in your mind's eye. Now then, as I taught you, relax and allow your energies to flow.
With flesh of clay I bid thee rise, on wings of dreams to touch the skies. What once was idle fantasy, I call forth to reality.
Not bad for a first attempt. Now, let us see what can be done for young
He's a
Harrick.
piggy.
Through the operation of the magics you invoked to animate this familiar, it is now replete with the energies required to stir the boy's soul. You need but give it a name, and it will do as your heart desires.
It's a piggy.
A name. All right, I've decided. Now. Go, Angelo!
It's a piggy.
Mother, I...
Oh. Aww. Okay, so that is the end of mission 4. I'm gonna try and check them off as I... I believe it did. You and your fledgling familiar have done well. If my eyes do not deceive, a hint of color has returned to his soul. Gods, I would jump for joy if I weren't so exhausted. We're so close now, Haurik. As you are even now in the process of discovering, this magic asks much of the invoker. What you may not have realized is that the same is also true of the subject. As such, we must proceed with caution. However, with further treatment, I have the utmost confidence the boy will make a full recovery. Observing the reanimation of his stagnant soul has been most enlightening. I will need time to put my theories to the proof, but I believe I can fashion a spell to produce the opposite effect. That is, to induce stagnation. Thus enabling our safe transport back to the source via Orosite. A thought occurred to me about this treatment. Backlog said that the soul is rendered dormant, the mind is separated from the body, that a person becomes incapable of interacting with the world around them. Does that not sound a lot like the tempered back in the source? Not really. It is the fate of most tempered to become slaves to primals, save in a handful of cases. Or am I missing something? If I can master this technique, the art of revitalizing the soul, I know of at least one in the source who could desperately use such a treatment. Gabu. Exactly. His condition is uncannily similar to Haurik's, is it not? The only difference being that his soul was suffused with earth-aspected ether instead of light. It follows that if his soul is subject to a similar kind of stagnation, there may be a chance we can save him, right? Forgive me, but who is this Gabu fellow of whom you speak? I see. His condition does sound similar, yet there is much and more about this soul that remains unknown even to me. I say this not to discourage you, you understand, but to remind you that this is delicate work we do here. Work requiring patience. Of course, and as long as there is hope for the patients here, I will devote whatever time needed to see this through. But I refuse to spend that time in idleness. If it's all the same to you, I'd like to stay here with Angelo and continue with their treatment. The two of you should return to the Crystarium with Backlug and see if you can't make some headway on the newly posited theories. I would tell you to rest first, but I see you're not to be convinced. Ah, the fire of youth. Let us return to the Crystarium, then. Finally, I've found you! I don't know who this is. Oh, shit! It's the boy. Kaishir, what are you doing all the way out here? There's trouble back in Yulmore. Lady Chai's beside herself, sighing, pacing, the whole lot. Near enough begged me to go and find you. Sighing and pacing, you say? Alize. Sighing and pacing, you say? Must be urgent. I take it I will be returning to the Crystarium alone. Go on, then. It's not as if I have anything for you to do. Oh, sudden, pressure headache. Thank you, Backlug. Sorry for bothering you and all that, but she says the future of Yulmore's at stake. Alright. So, Kaishir is Mission 5. Let's go. Lady Chai's up in the parlor. Best not to keep her waiting, eh? Alright, over to Yulmore. Ah, Ulthane! Ulthane's kind of, is unique due to the fact that he only ever wears the Odin set. I've never seen him in anything but the Odin set. Well, not here seems out of the ordinary, though I do not see Lady Chai anywhere. Alizé. Probably pacing around outside again, staring off into the distance and all that, sighing. Alizé. Strange. Let's see if we can find her and discover the source of her distress. Hold on. Okay, so she's not actually outside. They're saying she's on one of these balconies, probably. Yes. All right.
Oh, thank heavens you're here.
Okay, I'm gonna pause for just a second. I'll be right back. Alright. And I'm back. Sorry about that. Gotta put the headphones back on, too. Oh, good lord. I got a whole bunch of notifications. In the Discord. That I need to check. Just to be safe. Alright. Put that away for now. Back
Lady
to this.
Chai, whatever is the matter?
I knew not where else to turn. Oh, this is all too much for my poor heart to bear alone.
Alone? What of Master Chai?
But that is the very reason I summoned you. He's gone.
What? What happened?
It all began after the events at Mount Gulg. With Lord Vorthry out of the way, we all agreed that a new leader must be chosen.
And so you held an election?
Yes, well, sort of. Not a single person volunteered to stand, you see. After a lifetime of leisure, we free citizens have grown somewhat indolent. Readapting to the harsh realities of life is trying enough, but to take charge of a broken city as well? No one wanted such responsibility. Nevertheless, Yulmore could not well do without a leader, and so we decided that anyone and everyone should be considered a candidate. And after we cast our ballots and tallied the votes, the mayorship fell upon my dear husband.
Well, given the manner in which he orchestrated the construction of the giant Talos, none could deny his leadership qualities.
But even before then, he had proven himself at Daedalus Stoneworks, don't forget. He is more than qualified for the role. The perfect choice. Indeed. I told him as much when his victory was first announced. But perhaps I was too forceful in my attempt to encourage him. For shortly after that, he vanished without a word.
You believe he was so daunted by the burden of leadership that he felt compelled to flee? Please, Lady Chai, dry your eyes. Your husband does not strike me as the sort of man who would abandon his duty, much less his beloved wife. There has to be some other reason for his absence.
You truly think so? What about you? What do you think has become of my husband?
Oh, me?
And there you have it, Lady Chai. You needn't worry. Master Chai loves you more than all the world, and he will return.
I hope I'm right.
Wherever he may have gone, rest assured we will find him.
Thank you, my dear boy. You have set my mind at ease. I will trust in my husband and await his return.
Okay, so that... Wait a minute. Okay, that was number 5. Alright, so this is number 6. It makes no sense for Master Chai to have left without a word. But even if he had, he would not have done so unobserved. Someone here will have seen something, I'm sure of it. We should split up and inquire as to whether anyone saw him leave, or, failing that, if they had any idea where he might have gone. I will meet you at the Glory Gate and compare notes later on. Master Chai? Why, yes, I spoke with him recently, though I recall he was in a rather dour mood, concerned about Yulmore's neglect of industry, you see. With Lord Vothery's apparent inexhaustible stores of meal, and no great need for money, it's little wonder our businesses were all but forgotten under his rule. But I assured Master Chai that the Boutique of Splendors will do all it can to contribute to the revival of trade here in Yulmore, which seemed to satisfy him. He took his leave soon after. Okay. Going down a level, I think, is the next step. Looking for Master Chai, are you? Is something amiss? When last I saw him, he seemed ready to collapse from exhaustion. I insisted he rest and catch his breath, and we talked for a while, about his concerns over the city's defenses, among other things. He made more than a few valid points. Many of our men are still recovering after your confrontation with Lord Vothery, and finding General Ranjit in a heap in the middle of the plaza shook us all to the core. The man commanded no small amount of loyalty. Some of our longest-serving soldiers seemed lost without him. Indeed, a number of them left. Not that we blame you, of course. Without you and yours, we would still be blind to the error of our ways. Anyway, funding permitting, I propose replenishing our ranks with volunteers from the derelicts in Gatetown. We have a duty to protect not only Yulmore, you see, but the surrounding regions of Calusia as well, and I, for one, would welcome any man or woman willing to take up an arm for that cause. Indeed, I told him as much, and he seemed relieved to hear it. It was on that note that we parted ways. He headed outside, as I recall. Alright. Interesting, interesting. I recall a man fitting that description. Asked to speak with the poor buggers lately come from the right. Said he wanted to know the state of things down in the derelicts. You can be sure we gave him an earful. Lack of food, medicine, clothing. There was plenty to tell. We hunt high and low for whatever we can scavenge, and it's barely enough to fill our bellies. But folks here don't just want to survive. They want to thrive. When he heard that, he started mumbling to himself. Something about finding us work, I think. Fair play to him, though. Not content with having his ear chewed about the derelicts, he asked about the other settlements as well. After that, can't really say. Looked like he was heading to Gatetown when I last saw him. Aw, man. Wow, and that's number 6 done already. Jeez Louise, we're just screaming through these. Number 6. And we've only been streaming about an hour. Ah, there you are. How did you fare? Have you learned anything which might offer a clue as to Master Chai's whereabouts? Whoop. Hold on. We're gonna go on break really quick because I have a sudden time to go to the bathroom moment. My earlier break was because my mom just came home from a vacation and I had to go say hi. But yeah, we are going to go on break really quick. I will be right back. Hey guys, sorry about that. Alright. And we're back. So we just finished a notable absence. Alizé, interesting. He apparently paid a visit to the Queen Bee as well. They discussed the possibility of granting admission to customers from outside Yulmore, an idea which the proprietor was surprisingly receptive. Sounds like he's got plans for the place. Yulmore, I mean, not the bee. Perhaps, but the question remains, where did he go after leaving the city? Number 7. 7 of 42. All we know for certain is that Master Chai has shown great concern not only for Yulmore, but its surrounding settlements. It seems logical, then, that having consulted those within the city walls, he would wish to do the same with to those without. Umbra, if you would go and make quick inquiries in Ride, I shall do likewise in Stilltide. Gate Town I leave to you, Kaishir. Fair enough. Where should we meet when we've finished? Well, Top Rung would seem to me to be his next most likely destination. Let us reconvene there. With any luck, one of us will have stumbled upon him by then, but if not, we will be well situated to continue our search. Ah, itchy eye. Okay. Okay, so... Dang it. Hello, Ace-Lot. No, the name doesn't ring any bells. But there was a rather dapping-looking Mistle gentleman here not long ago. He wanted to talk about relations between Wright and Yulmore, or rather the lack of them. We lost a great many people to the promises of meal and the chance of a lavish life among the free. And Vothry thought to take even more from us, conscripting the few able-bodied men we had left to guard his paradise. I needn't tell you what happened when the Sin Eaters came. Such things are hard to forgive. But Vothry's gone now, and we're curious to see what will become of Yulmore in his absence. That's what I told your friend China's, was it? And I'm not sure the others are said the same. Not what he wanted to hear, I suppose, because he left soon after that, and that was that. Okay. Noom. So, he paid a visit to both Wright and Gate Town as well, did he? Alizé! I see. Kaishir and I gleaned much the same. He seems determined to salvage what goodwill might yet remain among the settlements of Calusia, the only likely place he has left to go being Amity. Come, if we are quick, we may be able to catch up with him. Okay. There he is. Umbra, Alfino, Kaisher, what are you doing here? We might ask you the same, Master Chai. We've been looking all over for you. Looking for me? Whatever for? Lady Chai has been inconsolable in your absence. She claims you disappeared without so much as a word and bade us return you to her side. Alizé. No, that was wrong. What in blazes are you talking about? I left a letter for her in our chambers. Though I suppose she could have overlooked it, when she gets an idea in her head. I can only apologize. No harm done, Master Chai, but since we are here, might I ask what compelled you to come all this way? We were told you had been elected mayor, and from what we have gathered from nearby villages, you have been inquiring about people's grievances. Is it safe to assume you mean to take office? Now, let's not jump to conclusions. I did seek to learn about the problems faced by the people of Calusia, and that much is true, but I am by no means sure I am the man to solve them. Tackling our many challenges will require resources, and until I have secured them, it would not be right to assume the role of mayor. Jesus. I see. And you believe said resources can be found here? Indeed. The people's grievances are many, but in the course of my inquiries I have already met with several individuals willing to lend their aid in addressing them. However, there remains one individual crucial to my plans, a man whose counsel might yet make a mayor of me. With respect, such forethought is in itself proof of your suitability. The city needs you, Master Chai. Alizé. And I am certain the man of whom you speak, whoever he may be, will reach the same conclusion. For what little it is worth, we will vouch for you should he require convincing. We believe in you, Master Chai. I don't know what to say. You don't need to say anything. You've got your actions to speak for you. For as long as I can remember, all I ever wanted was to make it into Yulmore. But that dream's gone now, burst like a bubble. Or a boil, more like. Anyway, outside of repaying Master Alfino, I haven't had a clue of what to do with myself. Spent most days in a daze, but you? You've been running up and down trying to find a way to fix this mess for everyone. And I reckon you can do it. You got this lot up Mount Gulg, didn't you? How hard could mayoring be? You're going to steer Yulmore to a better future, I know it. And I want to help, properly help, do something that makes a difference. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll work on it on the way. If you let me come with you, that is. You give me entirely too much credit, the lot of you. But I can't deny it gives me heart. Come then, let us press on together. Thank you, Master Chai. But we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. Yulmore needs more than a man with good intentions, which is why I'm here. To find one with the experience needed to see the city thrive. Who is this man exactly, and are you certain he's here in Amity? Rendam is his name, and yes, he is. Or was. I'd scarcely begun to explain myself when he decided his time was better spent elsewhere. He served as chief advisor to Vothri's father when he was in office. If Ranjit was the mayor's right hand, one might say that Randon is his left. Between them, they kept Yulmore on the road to prosperity. The city needs more than a mere man of business, which is why I must find him. But even if you do, what makes you think he will listen? Before giving chase, might it not be wise to speak to those who know him here in Amity? They might have some. They may be able to shed some light on the reason. They may be able to shed some light on his reason for rejecting the overtures out of hand. Yes, I suppose that makes sense. Perhaps we should start with Tristal then. As I recall, you made a rather favorable impression on him. I'm certain he would be willing to talk with us. Do 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 do. Greetings, friends, and to you too, Master Chai. I presume you're here to ask after Rendon. I couldn't help overhearing your earlier exchange. Yes, well, with Valtteri gone, Yulmore wants for a leader. Should no one rise to the challenge, the city could very well collapse. I came here seeking Rendon's counsel in the hope that we could build a better Yulmore together. That is still my wish. But given how abominably you were mistreated there, I will quite understand if you choose not to help. Oh, okay. Worry not, Master Chai. I bear no grudge against you or the people of Yulmore, and I would not see you suffer for Valtteri's villainy. As you no doubt gathered from your meeting earlier, Rendon can be rather uncompromising. He has his principles, you see, and little patience for anyone he deems less committed to their own. Your desire to right the wrongs of your past, of Yulmore's past, is quite admirable, but I fear the guilt you bear on the city's behalf works against you. I can see it in your eyes, in the way you carry yourself. Goes without saying he sees it as well. You must let those feelings go, Master Chai. Be more assertive, commit to this course, and prove to him Yulmore has the resolve to change. The resolve to change? I believe he was heading toward Pit 8 when he left. If you plan to go and speak with him, I suggest you be firm and clear in your intentions. Very well. To Pit 8 we shall go, and I will not take no for an answer, nay, not even a maybe. Okay. Da-da-dum. Aww. Eevee's trying DPS for the first time, specifically Red Mage. Red Mage is fun.
Well, well, it's you again.
Nice voiced.
Well, I see you've invited your friends. Need them to fight your battles for you, do you?
I didn't invite them, as it happens. Though they are indeed my friends. Well, not only mine, but every true Yulmoran's. They are the ones who awakened us to the truth, to Lord Valtteri's villainy, the famous warriors of darkness.
Are they now?
Yes, they are. It would be no exaggeration to call them our saviors. We owe much and more to their kindness, but we cannot depend on that kindness forever. To do so would be a little different from entrusting our affairs to Lord Valtteri. Nay, we must learn to stand on our own 2 feet. And I would have them present to witness my attempt.
Hear, hear, Master Chai.
Your sentiments are admirable. Yet admirable sentiments do not a nation make. In my capacity as advisor, I once strove to build a better Yulmore. gave honest counsel to my superiors, drafted laws for the benefit of one and all. But in time, my values fell out of favor. There was no need for them in this paradise Vorthri was creating, and so I left my homeland behind. But you, Chai News, you were content to wallow in indolence under Vorthri's auspices. And so I cannot help but ask myself what manner of nation you intend to build.
I can offer no simple answer to that question. But this much I will say. It is my hope that Yulmore can become a nation which her citizens might freely choose to build together.
Good for you, man.
A great many people, myself included, flocked to Yulmore seeking sanctuary. The alternative being to live in fear and die in pain. Seemed an easy choice. And sanctuary we found. As much food and drink as we could ever want. Secured at the cost of the surrounding villages. Little wonder the people gathered at our doorstep, begging to work among the bonded. The free were blind to it all, of course. Content to, as you say, wallow in indolence. In ignorance. Were I mayor, I would first take stock of the city's resources and see that they were assigned equitably. Our days of reckless consumption are behind us. The distinction between free and bonded died with Vorthri. The needs of rich and poor alike must be considered if our nation is to survive. To which end I would take steps to secure channels for supplies, rekindle relations with nearby settlements, re-establish industry, reach out to neighboring nations, and the list goes on and on. But I am no ruler, nor even a politician. I am an entrepreneur. My expertise lie in planning and profit. I haven't the knowledge or experience to run a nation. Please, Rendon, will you not help me? Together, we could solve the city's problems. Build a Yulmore for the people.
A Yulmore for the people. I'd rather like the sound of that. But before I offer you my counsel, I would be certain of your ability to perform the duties of office.
Valid.
You would?
You ask me to help you solve Yulmore's problems, but first I would see you solve one on your own. Accomplish that, and you will prove both to me and the people that you are a man worth following.
All right, and that is number 7. For the people. Ahem. Right then. Is there a particular issue you would have me resolve? You seem to have conducted an assessment of the problems Yulmore now faces. I assume you will agree, therefore, that the matter of dwindling food stores is the most pressing. Alizai... Ah, yes. Meal being neither a desirable nor less sustainable option, I assume alternative foodstuffs are now required to fill the void. And a man who hungers is not like to contribute much to society, save violence, perhaps. So tell me, how do you propose to solve this problem? Give me a satisfactory answer, and I will consider offering you my counsel. A combination of measures would seem to be in order. One to address the immediate issue of supply, and another that of production. Go on. For the present, Yulmore's coffers can be used to purchase food from our neighbors. This would afford us time to address the underlying problem that affects us all, the long-standing neglect of agriculture. The villages that once served as sources of trade for foodstuffs must be repopulated, their means of production restored. This assumes, of course, that we can rekindle relations with our neighbors, guarantee security and stability in the region, and most importantly, find people willing to leave the city and take up the rebuilding effort. My. Think of all that by yourself, did you? Well, yes. It began as a rather abstract plan I drafted some time ago, after speaking with the peoples of Yulmore in the nearby settlements. You've impressed me, Chinos. But I have? Well, that is a relief. Oh, you haven't secured my support yet. Only my attention. Grand plans will not be enough to persuade the masses. You would ask them to rebuild, you must provide them the means to do so. A fair point, Rendon, and one which I have given much thought. I propose the use of Talos to aid in the establishment and maintenance of these settlements. Their employment should drastically improve efficiency and ultimately increase production. Talos? But Daedalus Stonework closed the doors years ago. Without a ready supply of the necessary equipment, the people would starve before your plans get put into effort. Well, as the heir to Daedalus Stoneworks, it just so happens that Talos are my field of expertise. And with a little help, I'm quite certain we can acquire what we need in no time at all. We'll do that for when I decide to start grinding for my Black Mage again. Okay, so now we are on number 8, which is finding good help. Rendon is quite right. Building Talos from scratch would require time we simply do not have, which is why I propose we make use of some long-abandoned Talos which wander the wilds of Calusia. They will need to be deactivated, of course, and if memory serves, the tools required to do so should still be at the top rung. Come with me. Okay. Amen. Jump. Oh, come on. There we go. Aha! The old memory hasn't let me down. This chest contains canisters filled with a dashedly potent insulating powder, capable of halting the flow of ether into Talos. We need only get within throwing distance of one and let fly. thus disabling them without damaging them. Ingenious. An old trick of the trade, nothing more. Once disabled, it should be a simple enough matter to get them to march to Yulmore. More extensive repairs can wait. Ordinarily, this is where I would ask you to run along and do the deed. But as I have said before, it's high time we learn to stand on our own 2 feet. Thankfully, throwing canisters is something even I can manage. Come off it, Master Chai. Even if the Talos ain't a threat, there's 101 other things out there waiting to make a meal of you. That's as may be, Kaishir, but Rendon tasked me with solving this problem, and I will not sit idly by while others risk everything to see my harebrained schemes realized. Not this time. Which is to say, the mere thought of it doesn't fill me with dread. Truth be told, I can't feel my legs. But if I'm to prove I'm a man worth following, I must lead by example. Well said, Master Chai. Heh. Yes, well, it should go without saying that I have no intention of dying for this. I've always preferred living to see the fruits of my labors. And to make sure I do, I will require your help. It is as Kaishir says... Excuse me. These lands are dangerous if one is not careful. I would ask you use my spyglass to look out for any beasts that could get in the way of my work. I will also need you to alert me when it is safe to subdue the Talos. Understand? Ooh, another spyglass minigame. Good. Then let us be off to the quick way through the north gate, and see if we can't find a suitable vantage point for you. I did it! I did it! Let's move on to another Talos, shall we? Whoop. Oops. I got too excited. Okay, so I was like a second too early. I don't believe I'm getting the hang of this. Or, I do believe I'm getting the hang of this. You may leave the next one to me, Umbra. Ha! That should do it. Now we have all we need to proceed. Very cool. That was a fun little mini game. Sorry. Getting a little sleepy. You did it! Yeah! I could scarcely believe it. It was a reckless, foolish plan, but somehow it worked. Excuse me. I did it. Master Chai, I believe I owe you an apology. Your plan to replenish Yulmor's food stores showed forethought and sound judgment. What's more, it is plain your time at Daedalus Stoneworks has equipped you to lead, as evidenced by the extraordinary company you keep. You, sir, are more qualified to be the next mayor of Yulmor. I thank you for your vote of confidence, but the fact remains I am wholly ignorant of the world of politics, which is why I would ask you to join me and grant Yulmor the benefit of your counsel. I would be honored. When the people behold these talus, I have no doubt they will lend you their support. It would seem Yulmor's leadership is at last in capable hands. Would you not agree? We should probably be getting back soon, Master Chai. After you've tinkered with the talus and all that, Lady Chai is worried sick. This is some of my favorite music in the series.
Right. Right then. Form a line and make for Yulmor.
What's that noise?
Ow.
Wicked White! Runaway Talos! Call the guard! Stay back! All of you!
Is that... Darling, you're back.
But of course I'm back. You didn't see.
Dearest, I can't.
Oh, oh dear.
He's dead. The healing spell.
Oh, thank you.
The healing spell's a great touch.
Sorry, my darling. It's just the sight of you filled me with such joy, I couldn't help myself.
Oh, no, it's all right, dear. I should have just come out and said what it was I was intending, instead of entrusting the task to a hastily scribbled letter.
Does that mean you'll do it?
Well, I'm here, aren't I? I mean, not that my absence signified any unwillingness, you understand? Oh, no, naught could be further from the truth. I only left to enlist the aid of the former mayor's senior advisor. And now that I have it, I believe I am ready to take office.
Nice.
Oh, how wonderful!
Aww. They're so cute.
Please.
I do love these two. What was they saying? Okay, so that is the end of quest number 8. That was quite a reception. One Master Chai will struggle to forget. More seriously, the arrival of the Talus has seized the public's attention. Once word has spread throughout Yormore, it will be that much simpler to gather one and all so that Master Chai can make his inaugural address. No need to fret, Umbra. I've never felt better. Not at all overawed by the prospect of addressing the assembled masses of Yormore. As for where to do it, if we're to accommodate everyone who might feasibly wish to attend, I suppose the only place large enough would be the Emergent. Then I will go and spread the word among the citizens, both free and bonded, that they are to assemble there and meet their new mayor. You there, Kai Shir, was it? Would you go and inform the residents of Gatetown and the derelicts? Course I will. Good lad. I will let the guards know not to bar the way to Volthry's chambers. It goes without saying that I expect the Warrior of Darkness to attend, assuming she's available. Might as well see it through to the bitter end, eh? The doormen at the Crown Lift will show you up. What is happening in the chat? I think I just missed a bunch of stuff, so it's whatever. Do 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 do. You know what? Let's just cheese this. Let's make it easy. Hello, delivery Moogle. Let me up, please.
Go on, dear.
Thank you all for gathering here today. But before going any further, could I ask the free citizens of Yulmore to look around? 'Tis a sight none of us would ever have seen under Lord Forthree's rule.
This guy's got good range.
Not only
this
do
actor.
we stand in the familiar presence of those we once called the Bonded, but today we welcome the peoples of the Derelicts and Gate Town too. Today we welcome the Warriors of Darkness, come to bear witness to Yulmore's new beginning. As you know, an election was recently held, at the end of which I had the honor of being chosen to succeed Lord Vorthree. You place great faith in me, and I promise to do my utmost to live up to your expectations, and I will seek always to carry out the duties of this office with integrity and fairness. Always, I say, but not forever. Let it be known that I do not intend to hold this post indefinitely. I consider myself but an acting mayor, who will serve only for the interim, while Yulmore is reshaped according to a new set of values. No longer can we think of ourselves as divided, as the free and the bonded, citizens and non-citizens. The systems put in place by Lord Vorthree must be undone. But even as we tear down the old, we must give thought to the new, to what manner of nation Yulmore should become. Whatever the answer may be, it cannot be decided by one man alone. And so I propose that an open forum be held, that we might all discuss how best to strive towards a better future. However, there can be no talk of the morrow unless we first address the issues of today. Securing new sources of food, rebuilding relations with our neighbors, re-establishing industry. There is much and more that needs to be done. Too much for a mere man of business. And so I pledge instead to do everything in my power to ensure our city's security and stability while we all work together to see these problems solved. The road before us will not be easy, and I know full well how daunting the prospect of honest labor may seem to some of you. But we must accept the reality of our circumstances. We must move forward. This much we owe to ourselves and to the brave heroes who risked their lives to bring back the night. Once we have shored up our city's foundations and regained some semblance of normality, let us reconvene to speak of the future. Until then, I humbly ask that you lend me and each other your strength. For Yulmore!
That was a fine speech, Master Chai. I believe your words stirred every soul in attendance. Stirred them to action, I hope. If I have learned anything from all of this, it is that change begins with the individual. 'Tis but a matter of finding the strength to take the first step. Assuming my fellow Umorians can, it shall be my honor and privilege to help them walk this road we have chosen. But we must not forget the individuals who made all of these changes possible. Were it within my power, I would carve a tribute to your heroism into the very stone upon which this city stands.
I hate to change the subject, darling, but now that you have officially taken office, have you given any thought to your mayoral seat?
We will not be moving into the emergent, dearest. It's too big, for one thing, and too far from the people for another. I will retain our current residence, and I will govern here in the parlor.
Oh, I was hoping you'd say that. I much prefer the view from the parlor.
Begging your pardon, Master Chai, but have you got time for a word? Yes, of course. Haven't bet? Aye, that's me. I liked your speech. But there's folks outside these walls, and as don't even have enough food to last till tomorrow, and more who are counting their crumbs. If you've got a plan to change that, I want to help set things in motion. Then we've much to discuss. No sooner do I take office than my work begins in earnest. Well, I suppose I brought it upon myself. Thank you again for your help, Umbra. I hope to see you again before long. What a day. I don't know what it means exactly, but I do know I've got plenty to think about. I sense we all have a great deal to consider. I had resolved to remain here until such a time as Yulmore's future was secured, but it is clear to me now that the city is in capable hands. My phone just went off. I have every confidence they will find their way, and I believe it is time we went on ours. So that is number 9. So Elfino's leaving too, is he? Seems like everyone's moving on. Everything's changing. I've been thinking about what I should be doing in all this. Like I told you, I spent most of my life dreaming about living here with my friends in paradise. That paradise is gone, but something better's taken its place, and I reckon I want to be a part of it. This Yulmore for the people Master Chai's been going on about ain't gonna build itself, after all. Not that I'm much of a builder. Me and my friends will find a way to make a difference, though. help keep things changing for the better. A far nobler dream than the one to which you clung before, and I, for one, am happy to say we share. Whatever path you choose, I will pray for your success. Well, when you put it like that, there's no going back now, is there? We've got a few ideas on how we can do our bit. Just a matter of taking the first step. And the last one of 5.1. Vows of Virtue, Deeds of Cruelty. Truly, to see Kaishir thus inspired by our actions is inspiring in itself. Yet, however much I may wish to stay and see what comes of his efforts here in Yulmore, we have matters of our own to attend to. Come, we should return to the Crystal Tower. Mayhap Bekluk's studies have borne fruit in our absence. Alright, so now we're gonna jump over here. And after this, I believe we're going to call it at the end of 5.1, and we are going to start working on my dailies. Because if I can get the legs and the feet, that will put me probably high enough that I'll not have to worry about my armor for a while. Here we go. Welcome back. We are given to understand a new mayor has taken office in Yulmore. Indeed, our good friend Master Chai was elected by popular vote, and, after some considerable soul-searching, chose to accept the post. It is a shame you weren't able to attend his inaugural speech, though I have no doubt you will see more of him in the future. But tell me, how fared you in preparing the White Auracite? Our work did not proceed quite as expected. In your absence, we had a frank discussion on the principles of soul transference and concluded at length that White Auracite was ill-suited for our purposes. But, Uriage, did you not say that compared to the massy soul of an Ascian, the stone could house one of ours with ease? That I did. And armed as we are with Beklug's invaluable insight, 'twould indeed prove a trifling matter, were we to disregard the inviolable link twixt mind and soul. A link which would, we did belatedly realize, be weakened most perilously in the process of rendering our souls dormant, as Auracite doth require. Thus, the shedding of these fleshy simulacra and the surfeit of ether which compriseth them would in all likelihood deprive us of our psyches as well. It would theoretically be possible to channel your minds into the Auracite instead, but we would more than likely sacrifice your souls in the process, which is why we had to abandon that plan and instead devote our time to finding a means by which mind and soul might be transferred together. Then we are no closer to a solution than when we first began. It is a vexing conundrum indeed, but one for which the Crystal Exarch has posited a most intriguing solution. When our discussions turned to the transference of memories and the psyche, I could not help but be reminded of a technique with which I have a personal experience. Umbra, do you recall what we learned of my eyes from our encounter with Doga and Une? I speak of the royal eye of the Allegan imperial line, gifted to my forebears through the blood and memories of the ancient Allegans. It is by this gift that I am able to control the Crystal Tower. If we were to gain an understanding of the technology by which the Allegans were able to accomplish this transference, perhaps then we could keep mind and soul together. Imagine, if you will, a device like unto a soul crystal, replete not only with our worldly memories, but also with the bountiful energies of the soul. That is our current avenue of investigation, and we will follow it wherever it so leads. While we are thus engaged, I think it best that Umbra return to the source and inform Kryl and the others of our findings. Agreed. Alizé, agreed. I imagine Tataru will be relieved to hear we've made progress of assault. Then I would beg leave to relay our findings upon Thancred and Rhine, and to assist where I may in their investigations of the empty. Yes, please do. Should we have need of your counsel, we will not hesitate to summon you. Ow. Give our regards to Tataru, won't you? That's gonna just save me a little bit of money. Tataru! Umbra, you're back! How did everything go in the first? Wait, don't tell me. Cryo will be here with this shortly, and she'll want to hear too. She's just been tending to the others. Their bodies, I mean. Gods, I don't think I'll ever get used to saying that. Anyway, you can tell us everything the moment she gets here. Alright. Cutscene time. Oh. Kind of leaning down, getting comfortable. Is this gonna be a bit?
Sorry to keep you waiting. I've carried out the treatment as per Master Matoya's instructions. It should slow the destabilization of their corporeal ether quite significantly. But tell me, how fare our friends in the first?
Oh. Ow. My hip and my knee and my ankle all cracked at the same time. Because I crossed my leg in a weird way and all of them were just like...
So this Becklug's the first to lead an authority on soulcraft, are they? Sounds promising.
And Urianger's proffered solution of white auracite is rather ingenious now that I think of it. Well, while they press on with their preparations, you may rest assured we will continue to do our part here.
Oh, you're back.
Estinian! Oh, he's into this, like, traveling gear.
And none the worse for wear, I see.
Estinian! Oh, thank the gods! We've been worried sick. Did you lose your link pearl or something?
The situation in Garlemald has become more complicated. I was making my escape from the capital when I ran into one of yours, Riol. He thought it best we come straight here.
More complicated how?
Where to begin? After entering the Empire via Razad Han, I went about my mission of investigating Black Rose. It was then, inside a provincial factory, that I encountered the one who styles himself Shadow Hunter, Gaius Baelsar. Our goals being apparently aligned, we joined forces and ventured on into the heart of the capital, to the very Imperial Palace itself. There, we found a man whom all assumed dead. But his soul lives on, and he has wrested back his flesh. Xenos ye Galvas. Nor did the surprises end there. For no sooner had we arrived than he murdered his sire in cold blood. The Emperor is dead. This sent Gaius into a rage, and he charged in, blade drawn.
What's wrong?
The Echo. I've seen him in action, his body at least. You will not best him alone. Nay, death will not come easily to that thing. If you would join me, then by all means. For what good it will do. The Black Wolf and the Azure Dragoon. I suppose this might suffice. Come then. The simple pleasures of one's own flesh. Truly, there is no place like home. Abomination! Whatever he is, Umbra was barely a match for him, if we stay here much longer. Emperor Varys, your radiance, are you alright? We may wear out our welcome. Your radiance, no! Must even the most middling of sport be spoiled? The world conspires to bore me. But I have no cause to remain. I leave these vermin to you. Xenos! Well, any bright ideas? Just one. Your radiance! The intruders have taken flight. I repeat, the intruders have taken flight. Deploy all available Magitech armor. We cannot let them escape. Whoa, what? Alright then. I'll take the low road, so to speak. I'll see you outside. Stay safe. Oh, that was Gaius. Whoops. Well, well, someone's been busy. They're trying to rebuild Omega? Or Ultima? Yeah. And would you bow my way, would you? So be it. Come, Nidhogg. Lend me your strength. All right.
Taste my lance!
Guardians in the Machina. Now, where are you, Gaius? That was a cool mission.
Are you all right?
Peer into my past, did you?
Well, I didn't quite relive the experience as you did, but I bore witness to it all.
I'm still not sure what I think of this gift of yours, but no matter. Our confrontation was cut short when the Imperial Guard arrived. It was then that Xenos took his leave, citing boredom.
To think their research into the Echo could bear such fruit. Escaping death, jumping from one body to the next, and returning to his own after all this time. He is an Ascian in all but name.
It beggars belief, aye. But no more than a hero traversing the rift between worlds. My concerns are far more prosaic. With the Emperor dead and the Crown Prince missing, the Empire is in disarray. Until order is restored, assuming it even possible, we needn't fear an Imperial reprisal. And for reasons of his own, Xenos took it upon himself to rid the world of Black Rose. Riol has already gone to apprise the Alliance leaders of these developments. We may leave the matter in their hands for now.
Huh.
Then perhaps we have seen the last of the fighting at Gimlet. Though, if it comes to civil war, I cannot help but fear for the provinces. Ah, I'd nearly forgotten to ask. What became of Gaius? Did he not escape with you?
That he did, but we parted ways shortly after leaving Garlemald. He claimed another threat had arisen which demanded his attention. He didn't elaborate, but the absence of some device or other in the capital gave him reason to believe they're planning something. Lest you worry, I believe he has well and truly shed the Black Wolf's pelt. Conquest is no longer his objective. We may safely leave him to his own devices.
Well, it's nice to have one less foe to worry about, even if we do have a mysterious new threat to look out for instead. Speaking of which, I'll see that Riol and Al Shinobi are made aware. Though we still know next to nothing, it can't hurt to be vigilant.
Well then, with Black Rose nipped in the bud, I believe I've fulfilled my part of the bargain.
That's true, but with the Archon still slumbering away, we were hoping you might agree to stay with us for a little bit longer.
Sorry, but I'm not inclined to extend my contract. Gaius isn't the only one with business to attend to.
Thank you for your help then, Estinian. I see why Alphino admires you so.
Farewell, my friend. See that you don't make a habit of dozing off in battle.
That Estinian's a bit of a shit.
I suppose we should all be getting on then. As ever, we will see to the Archon's needs. In the meantime, why not get some rest? You've more than earned it. Go on.
And that is number 10 and the end of 5.1.
You must be shattered after all that hopping back and forth between worlds. Why not stay here and rest for a while? I'm sure Becklug can manage without you. They've got enough science to help them if you ask me.
And that... Well, hold on. Meanwhile, in Garlemald... Excuse me.
Oh shit.
Traitors, you would dare deny Lord Never... Ah! Onward! Before this day is done, victory shall be ours! It's like a full-on civil war. Boring, boring, boring. Do you think? I find it amusing. Like dogs herding cattle to the slaughterhouse. Oh, this guy. That you. Your soul is... Who are you? Before your majesty, I am but another dog, lost in want of a new master, a hunting dog, if you should so wish it. For I know full well the prey you would seek next. Zodiac. That's the little slime ball from the Stormblood expansions. Meanwhile, in Yulmore in the First.
Did you hear? The mayor's reopening Daedalus Stoneworks and they're looking for laborers. There's talk of resettling some of the old abandoned villages, too. They're even laying on free talus to help anyone willing to make the move.
Free talus? Ha! We'd best get packing.
Steady work, board and lodging? If that's not a recipe for hope, I don't know what is.
So what goes wrong? Hope? What? Yes, so long as I yet live, I would see that feeble flame rekindled. It is my destiny to see our dream fulfilled. Okay. Interesting. But that is where I'm going to be ending today. I have 30 minutes before office hours, essentially, with the players for D&D. So I have to go and do that whole kettle of fish. I'm probably also going to do my duty roulettes for the day on my own time. So guys, thank you so much for joining. I will be streaming probably again tomorrow. I don't know 100% yet. I may just do duty roulette on my own and not do any MSQ stuff. And if I end up doing that, I'm not going to be streaming. But I will let you know either way, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!